Get lit. Get lit. Get lit. Everybody get lit right now. Get lit. Get lit.
Thank you at home for joining me. This is the Diamond K Show, and my name is Diamond K. So we are fast approaching the election season. I mean, things are starting to build. 2024, the presidential election, will take place Tuesday. And, you know, that's going to happen, of course, November the 5th, 2024. Voters are going to elect the president and the vice president to a term of 4 years. Incumbent President Joe Biden, Democrat, is running for re-election. Now, his predecessor, Donald Trump, the Republican, is running for re-election to a second non-consecutive term. Now, there are a number of primary election challengers that have declared their candidacies for nomination in both parties. The winner of this election is scheduled to be inaugurated on January the 20th, 2025. So let's get into a little bit of how this works. Now, prior to the general election, which happens in November, the political parties will choose their nominees officially at nominating conventions. Now, delegates to the nominating conventions will be chosen by voters in state-level caucuses and primary elections. Now, the presidential election will occur the same time as elections for the Senate and for the House. Several states will also be holding gubernatorial and state legislative elections. So let's talk about some of these issues. Some of the issues that candidates are really going to have to make a priority: crime, education, gun control, immigration, healthcare, LGBT rights, especially transgender rights, the state of the economy, climate change, and a very, very red hot issue, abortion access. Now, the indictments against former President Donald Trump are going to be major campaign issues. Now, while these are leading issues for people in the media and people in political circles, President Biden does not want to talk about it. I think that it is something that he's going to have to speak to at some point in time. But right now, you know, he's falling back. He don't have too many words for it. The COVID-19 pandemic left a significant effect on our economy. Economic issues are likely to persist and be top of mind during 2024. So we had this period of high inflation, which began in 2021. It caused a confluence of events: the pandemic, a supply chain crisis, economic effects of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, when asked about Biden's handling of the economy, the scores have come back pretty negative since late 2021. Voters are going to continue to cite economic issues as the top issue for this 2024 election. The condition of our economy could be a make or break point for President Biden. I've often said that if President Trump had been able to handle the COVID-19 pandemic better, had he been able to communicate messages better, he could have won re-election. He could have. It was a missed opportunity, and President Biden is going to be faced with a similar dilemma. Part of the problem, when you talk about something like Ukraine, for instance, Ukraine is, to the average American, it's a money pit. The average American that does not have a lot of resources, they hear about the billions that we are giving to Ukraine. And they say, well, why can't they give this money to my community? Why can't it come to my state? Why is it going overseas? And we hear Republicans talking about entitlements and talk about Social Security becoming insolvent. And then the average American will say, well, why are we giving all this money to Ukraine? Why are we not keeping it at home? And then you have folks in the mainstream media that say that that type of thinking is isolationist. Yeah, my thing, and it's very simple. The mainstream media, Democrats, those on the left, if you do not find a better way to communicate why you think we need to give money to Ukraine, folks are going to continue to resist. And I think that, first of all, there's a lot of countries that we give aid to. We give a lot of money to Israel. We give a lot of money to Ukraine, and a host of our strategic partners. So when you talk about that, and then you have folks who do not have, folks who are not doing well, they're looking like, why can't my government help me? Why can't my government? Why won't my government help me? But they're so quick to help another country. America wants to help Morocco, who just had a crippling hurricane, and they don't even want America's aid. They don't even want America's money. We're trying to give money. We can't even give money away. But you turn around and have problems giving support to our very own citizens. It's a very backwards thing. Very bad. Speaking of backwards, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is an environmental lawyer, and he's also running for president. He's from California. He is all over the place. He's running as a Democrat, quote unquote Democrat, but he's been a tool for the Republicans. And he is an anti-vaccine activist. And he is the founder of the Children's Health Defense. He's also the founder of the Waterkeeper Alliance. And he should not be president. He should not be president, nor will he be. Marianne Williamson, she's 71, and she is an author. She's the founder of the project, the Angel Food. She's a candidate in 2020. She's also from California. She is running again. And, I don't understand why. But Joe Exotic, convicted felon, businessman, media personality, and an independent candidate for president in 2016, he has also declared. So I wanted to put that out there. But there's a host of others who have declared with regards to the Republican Party. We'll go through some of the names. Ryan Binkley. He is the co-founder and CEO of the Generational Equity Group from 2006 to present. He's also the co-founder and lead pastor of Create Church. His home state is Texas, and he is running as a Republican. The governor of North Dakota, Doug Burgum, he's a billionaire. And from 2016 to the present, he has been the senior vice president of Microsoft Business Solutions Group, the president of Great Plains Software from 1984 to 2001. And, he just doesn't have enough momentum, but we're going to talk about some of these folks regardless. Chris Christie. Many know him. He is the former governor of New Jersey from 2010 to 2018. He was a candidate for president in 2016. He was also the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey from 2002 to 2008. He is running for president. He was once a opponent of Donald Trump. Then he became a supporter, and now he is an opponent again. But too little, too late is not looking good. Ron DeSantis, who is the current governor of Florida, 2019 to present. He is a former U.S. representative from Florida, District 6 from 2013 to 2018. He was someone that had the momentum in the Republican Party early on. This is before he actually declared. And then once he declared, things just started going downhill and downhill from there. Speaking of downhill, Larry Elder, host of the Larry Elder Show from 1993 to 2022, was a candidate for governor in the California 2021 recall election. He was unsuccessful in that bid, and this will be more of the same. Nikki Haley, who is the former ambassador to the United Nations, 2017-2018, former governor of South Carolina from 2011 to 2017, state representative in South Carolina from 2005 to 2011. She is gaining some momentum. She is, she's trying to be that centrist candidate. She's trying to be someone who some never Trumpers would vote for, some Democrats, some right-leaning to central Democrats could potentially vote for. But some of her policies are just too right-wing. So while she tries to operate in that middle, some of her thoughts are just maddening. Just maddening. Will Hurd, the former U.S. representative from Texas, District 23 from 2015 to 2021. As I said, from Texas, he is running. And it's not looking good for Will Hurd. And speaking of not looking good, Asa Hutchinson. He is the former governor of Arkansas from 2015 to 2023. He was the Undersecretary of Homeland Security from 2003 to 2005. He was also an administrator of the DEA from 2001 to 2003. And as I said, he's from Arkansas. He's having trouble raising money, and his polling is not where it needs to be. There's another Republican debate coming up in 2 weeks. And if he does not make that, then this campaign is over. Now, speaking of campaigns being over, Perry Johnson, founder of Perry Johnson's Registrars from 1994 to present. He was a disqualified candidate for governor of Michigan in 2022. He's got a lot of money, but not a lot of momentum. Speaking of momentum, Mike Pence, former vice president from 2017 to 2021 under Donald Trump. He's a former governor of Indiana, 2013 to 2017, a former representative from Indiana in the 6th District, 2003 to 2013. He was also a U.S. representative from Indiana in the 2nd District from 2001 to 2003. Mike Pence is cold out here. And when I say cold, I don't mean good cold. Like, he is cold. The Republicans are not going to vote for him. Not going to vote for him. And Vivek Ramaswamy, he's an interesting candidate. He is a snake oil salesman. He does double talk. He is the executive chairman of Strive Asset Management from 2022. He's also been in the medicine industry. He was CEO of a company, and this is from 2014 to 2021. but he is a Trump clone. He's a businessman. He talks out of both sides of his neck. He lies a lot, and Trump lies a lot. But Vivek is imitating Trump, so of course he's gonna lie. And Tim Scott, who is the U.S. Senator from South Carolina from 2013 to present, U.S. Representative of South Carolina in the 1st District, 2011 to 2013. He was also a South Carolina State Representative from 2009 to 2011. And a lot of white people say, oh, that's a good guy right there. I like Tim Scott. Tim Scott does not have a chance in hell. Okay. Now, maybe some candidate, Donald Trump, could make him a vice presidential candidate, but I don't really see the point in that. He'll probably make someone like a lady, Carrie Lake, Marjorie Taylor Greene, somebody like that, his vice presidential candidate. But there are some others. Now, you've heard about those folks, but there are some others. There's a tax consultant named John Anthony Castro who has declared. E.W. Jackson is a pastor and an activist. He was a candidate for Senate in 2012 and 2018 and a nominee for lieutenant governor in 2013. E.W. Jackson's running. Also, Steve Lafley, the mayor of Cranston, Rhode Island from 2003 to 2007, has declared, as well as Corey Stapleton, the Montana Secretary of State from 2017 to 2021, a member of the Montana Senate from the 27th District in 2001-2009. So we've already had one candidate withdraw, which was Francis Suarez. He withdrew last month. He announced on the 14th of June, and less than 3 months later, he was out of this race. There are some other folks. The American Solidarity Party has Peter Sonsky, a Connecticut local public office holder and director of the Knights of Columbus Museum, who's declared. Now, many of you did not know this, but there is a Party for Socialism and Liberation. Claudia D. Cruz, a political activist, has declared. In the Libertarian Party, Chase Oliver was a nominee for U.S. Senate in Georgia in 2022, and an author and former liberal studies professor at New York University, Michael Reckenwald, has also declared with the Libertarian Party. With the Green Party, Cornel West, the philosopher and intellectual, has declared, and some other independents. The rapper Afro Man, real name is Joseph Foreman, has declared, and Taylor Marshall, a podcaster and an author, and Kanye West, candidate for president in 2020. And, folks know who Kanye West is, also declared. So this race, as I predict, is going to come down to Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And with the Republicans trying to muddy the waters and bring impeachment to the president, they're trying to continue that whataboutism and try to make it seem like Trump's got charges, Biden's a criminal, everybody, they're trying to do that thing. But this is going to be very interesting. We are in the middle of just an exciting time. And we're going to talk a lot more about the upcoming races. We're going to talk about the 2024 Baltimore mayoral election and the rematches that have been taking shape there. And we're going to do that right after this.
It ain't a real brunch unless it's iconic. Every Sunday, Belize Rooftop presents
Brunch on Sunday.
Brunch in Belize, featuring the L Show from 12 to 5. The best food, the best vibes, and the best view in the city. The Belize Rooftop Brunch with music by Super DJ Big L.
That's right, your boy Super DJ Big L. Brunch at Belize. You ain't never experienced brunch like this with the L Show. See you soon.
Get ready for Brunch at Belize Rooftop, featuring The L Show, each and every Sunday, 316 Guilford Ave. Doors open at 12 noon to 5 p.m. Music by Super DJ Big L. Come out and enjoy plump shrimp and grits and our signature chicken and waffles, home fries to die for, and $25 crafts of mimosas. For tickets and cabana reservations, go to brunchandbelize.eventbrite.com or call 667-256-5025. Island Vibes. No passport needed.
Welcome back to the Diamond K Show. Of course, I am your host, Diamond K. Now, the 2024 Baltimore mayoral election is going to be held November the 5th, 2024. And the incumbent mayor, Brandon Scott, first elected in 2020, is going to be running for re-election for a second term. Now, he won with 70% of the vote. Major. Okay. Now, the Democratic and Republican primary elections will be held on May the 14th, 2024. Now, I talked about the potential rematch, Joe Biden and Donald Trump for the presidency. Here in Baltimore, we are shaping up to have rematches as well. Former Mayor Sheila Dixon, who was in office from 2007 to 2010, she was a candidate for mayor in 2016 and 2020. She left office in 2010 under a lot of controversy. She said that she's paid her dues. She said that she's paid her debt, and she is ready to help lead this city. Of course, Brandon Scott, the incumbent, is going to be running. And Robert Wallace, businessman and independent candidate for mayor in 2020. Oh, this is looking like a rerun. Folks who have filed paperwork: Wendy Bozell, also Wendell Hill Freeman has filed paperwork. Now, we have some potentials out there. Jane Miller, folks will know, who is a radio talk show host, a former investigative reporter for WBAL-TV. She is potential. She's thinking about running for mayor. Also, folks will recognize Thuru Vignarajah, former Maryland Deputy Attorney General and candidate for mayor in 2020. Now, some folks have declined. Some folks that were expected to run for mayor or teased a run have declined. And we're going to start with Zeke Cohen. He is a city councilor from the 1st District, 2016 to present. He is going to be running for city council president. Eric Costello, city councilor from the 11th District, 2014 to present, is running for re-election. Bill Henry, the Baltimore City Comptroller from 2020 to present, is running for re-election. And Nick Mosby, the president of the Baltimore City Council from 2020 to present, and a former state delegate from the 40th District, is running for re-election. So that is interesting. We have this rematch that is coming up. Baltimore's a tricky place. Baltimore is not different in regards to the economy is important. Crime is important. Our aging infrastructure is important. Of course, policing in the city. Did I say crime already? It's a major factor. And these are issues that are going to come up in the national and the local elections. This race is going to be one that we're going to follow closely here at the Diamond K Show, here at OnFire TV and Radio on Fire. I'm definitely going to need to sit down with some of these candidates. We've had Mayor Brandon Scott on the show. Mr. Wallace, Bob Wallace, has also been a guest on the program. And while I've met her on several occasions, Sheila Dixon has not been on the show yet. We need to make that happen. Sheila Dixon has not been on the Diamond K show. She's not been on any of the Radio on Fire or On Fire TV programs. So we need to do something about that. Speaking of doing something about that, I want to talk about something that is disturbing. The Maryland Department of Juvenile Services has released a report on youth crime. I told you that crime is something that folks are very focused on here in Baltimore. Now, despite a perceived increase, a new report by the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services says that youth crime has declined. That may surprise you. That may surprise you. Yesterday, the department released a breakdown of a decade of data on youth crime. Now, the report found that gun violence against children and teens increased, and the vast majority of them are people of color. The study found that the availability of guns has led to an increase in gun violence. Here in Baltimore, the report found that a number of young people, this exact number, shot and killed, it doubled from 2013 through 2022. Non-fatal shootings increased by 188%. The report is the product of internal examinations, listening tours with judges and prosecutors, and consultations with national experts. So there are many challenges, as you can see, many challenges. And Governor Wes Moore's Safe Summer Initiative, which provided $5 million to 12 Maryland counties impacted by high gun violence. These are some things that they're going to do to try to mitigate some of this. Coincidentally, there's going to be a meeting with the House committee discussing juvenile laws. The secretary said that the only policy recommendation is to end automatically trying minors as adults. But there is a lot. There's a lot to unpack with regards to this Department of Services youth crime report. It could be surprising that they said that crime with regards to the youth has gone down. All we seem to hear about is crime increasing with our youth. Of course, you listen to the Diamond K Show. My name is Diamond K. I am so happy that you have joined me. Happy to talk about so many things. And as I said, as this election season heats up, we're going to be digging in and unpacking a lot of things. Now, before we get out of here, and this is the kind of stuff that you see around this time, a candidate in the high-stakes Virginia election performed sex acts with her husband in live videos. This candidate, they're screenshots of Susanna Gibson on the website, and they were shared. They posted these pornographic images and videos on a X-rated website, and they asked viewers to pay them money in return for carrying out these specific sex acts. And she is a Democrat running for a seat in the Virginia House of Delegates in a district just outside of Richmond. She issued there was a statement issued which denounced the sharing of the videos as a violation of the law and her privacy. She called the exposure of the videos the worst gutter politics. She said that you won't intimidate me and you won't silence me. My political opponents and their Republican allies have proven they're willing to commit a sex crime to attack me and my family because there's no line they won't cross to silence women when they speak up. The Washington Post first reported the videos on Monday of this week. So you have this candidate in a very high stakes election. This contest in Virginia. So she had sex with her husband in some live videos. They were posted to this website, some porno website, and folks were supposed to pay this money, right? So they're doing something like an OnlyFans kind of thing. I don't think it was OnlyFans, but they're doing something like that. And, you know, the revelation of this it's really marked an explosive turn in a contest that will have a significant, just a significant weight in determining the balance of power in Virginia's General Assembly. The race has attracted large amounts of money and a lot of interest for an off-year legislative race. The Democrats control the Senate by a 4-vote majority. Republicans control the House of Delegates by the same margin, with 4 seats currently vacant. Oh, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Now, the parties are waging intense legislative battles as the GOP's rising star, Glenn Youngkin, looks to bolster his conservative agenda with full control of state government. So you have that there. And it's going to be interesting. I'll say that. It's going to be interesting. You have this race and you have folks that are, they're willing to do anything. Now, the most recent videos that Miss Gibson has been a part of were archived on September 30th, 2022. It is unclear when the live stream actually occurred. But you want to know what somebody's agenda is. I mean, we all have stuff that we may regret. I don't know if she regrets this or not. I guess you would have to see the video to see whether it is a regrettable performance or not. I mean, I don't think that it's out of line for them to bring it up. It's unfortunate for her, obviously, because it's something that they're using against her. But if the shoe was on the other foot, she would have brought it up. I mean, her trying to act like it's not revenge porn. Okay, they didn't take place in it. They probably going to let potential voters know what this candidate has participated in. Of course, ONFIRE-TV is a progressive media company. We deliver news. We deliver entertainment. We engage with over 4.6 million people each month through our various media assets, which include the flagship program, The Diamond K Show, of course, ONFIRE-TV, Radio on Fire, and our highly engaged social media channels. ONFIRE-TV is the streaming home for this show. And we really focused on original content, marketing, and distribution. I am unapologetically progressive. Now, the views of many of our hosts and writers are varied and they're diverse. I don't censor the folks here. Our opinions usually fall somewhere center left of the modern American political spectrum. The ONFIRE-TV network was founded by yours truly in 2012. We are steadily growing and we are having fun doing it. Join this movement. Visit ONFIRE-TV.com. You can make a donation, support our cause, shop, pick up some merch. ONFIRE-TV, as I said, a progressive media company. We deliver news, politics, culture, entertainment, social justice, sports, education, business, finance. We cover it all. And I encourage you, visit ONFIRE-TV.com, anywhere you get your podcasts. Search for The Diamond K Show. I am here 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. djdiamondk@gmail.com. You need to get in touch with me. Not hard to do. I'm around. I'm definitely around. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Keep up with what we got going on. Tap into onfire-tv.com/join. Go to onfire-tv.com, hit the join button. And you can do this. And doing this allows you to access exclusive content while supporting this independent network, ONFIRE-TV. Become an On Fire Plus member. You help us continue to do what we do here. You can always stream episodes of the Diamond K Show at onfire-tv.com/DiamondK. I am here always, right? Because if I'm not live, then you can check me out on demand. And speaking of on demand, music submissions, booking, or any kind of business info, contact me, djdiamondk@gmail.com. You need me to spin at your event, party, whatever, you can book me. djdiamondk@gmail.com is how you do that.
Get lit. Get lit. Get lit. Everybody get lit right now. Get lit. Get lit.